We're going to do anti-extension rollouts using the glute bridge roller. This is going to be an advanced anti-extension exercise that you might use after something like a front plank. And so what I'm going to have Brett do is get into a kneeling position, tuck those toes under. I want to see those shoulders lined up right over his hands. I want to see a good abdominal position here. So we want to see some anterior tension because we're going to be resisting extension force as he rolls forward. He's going to reach out forward. I want to see that he's able to maintain a nice trunk and pelvic position here and then come back. For a beginner, you might limit the range. They might just go out a little bit and then come back. And then to continually challenge them, we can just increase the range of motion as we go. And then we can even have them add a pause. So I'll have Brett roll out. I want him to hold 1, 2, 3, and then come back. So we can increase the range of motion and also increase the time under tension during the exercise. When doing the exercise, we're trying to resist extension. So I might rather have them be in a little bit of flexion through their lumbar spine and their pelvis to really be able to contract and utilize those anterior abdominal muscles. We want to resist that extension position. So I want him to think about maintaining a little bit of flexion in the spine and pelvis during the exercise. We're going to do a bridge leg curl using the glute bridge roller. This is going to be a great posterior chain exercise to develop both the hamstrings as well as the glutes. We're going to start with an eccentric only variation. This is going to be the best thing to start with beginner clients so that they can understand the exercise and probably avoid something like a hamstring cramp. So I'm going to have Brett put his heels in the grooves here. I'm going to have him get some good abdominal tension, take a big exhale, crunch those ribs downward. Then I'm going to have him bridge his hips up high. I want to see a nice straight line from the shoulders to the knees. And nice and slow for about 5 to 6 seconds, he's going to extend those knees out until he gets straight. Then I want him to drop his hips right back down the ground. We'll bridge up again. And I want to see that he's able to maintain that tension and that straight line through his torso to his knees throughout the entire exercise. To progress the client, we're simply going to add reps over time. Then we can start to progress to an eccentric and concentric variation. So he's going to go out, keep those hips up, come all the way back in. So we're doing both the eccentric portion as well as the concentric portion. We're going to add reps to continue to challenge him before eventually progressing to a single leg eccentric variation. So Brett's going to drop his hips down. Right there, we'll bring this knee towards the chest. Heel on this middle section here, toes up. Now he's going to bridge up on a single leg. I want to see a nice straight line all the way across, and he's going to go out slowly for about 5 to 6 seconds, drop those hips down to the floor, and reset. Again, it's smart to start with the eccentric only variation with any version of this so they can start to really understand how to use their glutes, hamstrings, and abdominals to maintain that position while avoiding something like a hamstring cramp. We're going to do a body saw on the glute bridge roller. This is going to be an advanced anti-extension exercise that we might use after something like a front plank. So I'm going to have Brett get down into a front plank position, elbows underneath the shoulders. He's going to put his toes into these grooves on the glute bridge roller. I want to see his nice and solid position here, good trunk position. I want to see a nice straight line. We can bring this head up a little bit here. Nice straight line from his head, shoulders, and hips. Now he's going to extend and press those arms out, increase the lever arm to challenge his anterior core stability. So I want to see he's only going to go out as far as he is able to maintain this trunk position and maintain that head position. I'm going to have you bring that head up just a little bit, sink into the shoulders. Good. Reach back, extend, come back forward. So we're challenging his ability to maintain alignment between his rib cage and pelvis as he reaches those arms out and comes back in. We're going to do knee tucks on the glute bridge roller. So I'm going to have Brett get into a push-up position here. He's going to his hands underneath his shoulders. He's going to put his toes right into the grooves there on the glute bridge roller. I want to see a good plank position. So I want to see a nice straight line from his head, thoracic spine, and hips. He's going to pick that head up just a little bit. Nice and stable here. Kind of push your upper back into my hand, upwards a little bit. Good. Good ab tension here. And then he's going to flex those hips up. And I want to see that he's able to maintain stability in his spine and pelvis. So I want to see that he can move his hips independently of his spine and pelvis. He's able to flex them back, hold for a second, come back. Good. And so we're going to challenge him by adding that hip flexion in, coming back. And we're just going to progress this by adding reps over time, or we could add a pause into the movement, have them hold, and then come back.